A very good afternoon to everyone. Welcome once again to SGInnovate's New Frontier, Deep Tech Opportunities and Jobs. My name is Sean from the Talent Networking team here at SGInnovate, and I will be your MC for the rest of this afternoon's program. Now, it's been a very fruitful day so far, and if you've just joined us after back-to-back sessions, this might be a good time for you to take a minute to get up from your seats and just do a little stretch. Okay, and for those of you who are just still reading in from the post-lunch food coma, I bet you will be more awake now because I have some good news to share, especially those of you who have been participating in the scavenger hunt. So here is one more letter to aid you in your hunt, and there it goes. Ta-da! All right, so we have the letter V. So do take note that you also need to include the corresponding serial number along with entering your name and phone number to scavengerhunt@sginnovate.com. Now, the winners of the scavenger hunt will be reviewed at the end of this session. Right, so by now, some of you may have visited our exhibition hall where we have 30 of our partners and startups showcasing their technologies as well as the job opportunities that they are offering. At SGInnovate, we work closely with deep tech startups and partner companies to place the right talents into the right roles. In this second showcase segment, you will hear from some of these partners and startups who are actively hiring full-time and apprenticeship positions for their exciting deep tech projects. Not only will you hear more about the companies and the impact that they are making in their industries, you will also hear more about the positions that they're hiring for and what it takes to be up for the job. Let me now briefly introduce our speakers, and they are Jackson Au, CEO and founder of Mighty JAXX International Private Limited, Angela Tay, Assistant Director, Telecoms Engineering and Specialist Office from the Infocom Media Development Authority, IMDA, Dr. Mohammad Sherafatmand, CEO and founder of HYDROLEAP Private Limited, and last but not least, Sahil Tapiawala, CEO and co-founder of ATOMIONICS Private Limited. Now, as our speakers take the stage, may I invite our audience members to pose any questions that you may have at the Q&A section. And with that, I will now invite our first speaker. Let us welcome Jackson Au, CEO and founder of Mighty JAXX, to take the virtual stage. Jackson, please.
Hi, everyone. Hi. How are you guys doing? My name is Jackson, and I'm the founder of Mighty JAXX. We are a Singaporean company with global reach and ambition. I'm very excited to be here to share with you more about what we do. Mighty JAXX is future culture. We are building an integrated system to empower pop culture brands with end-to-end supply chain of collectibles, including artist development and incubation, proprietary IP operation, global consumer access with new retail, as well as bridging the physical and digital worlds through technology. Our products will ignite the passion of fans and deliver joy around the world. Now that is quite a bit. So how do we do that? We design, produce, and distribute collectibles in many forms, catering to different pop cultures worldwide. Although seemingly segregated, these diverse demographics actually converge at multiple points, creating a vast global audience for our products. That is why we can bring joy to many individuals around the world, as far as Colombia, the Czech Republic, and even Iceland. Our purpose is to develop future entertainment, empowering it digitally as we evolve into a global family of cultural brands. In our quest to deliver joy, world-famous brands partner with us to create high-volume, unique stylized products across various categories. Now, this includes hardline, softline, digital content, and even casual gaming, which expands our total addressable market beyond the core collectors. This year, we signed a global deal with Wacom and Hasbro, with properties including Transformers, G.I. Joe, SpongeBob SquarePants, and even Power Rangers, which is a check off the bucket list for me. So what does working in Mighty JAXX look like? We have 4 business units with its own team, focusing in mass consumer products, high-end collectibles, brand partnerships, and IP creation. Our technology team builds the platform powering the entire company and creative innovations, leading us into the digital entertainment space. I would like to share with you some of the projects that we are working on this year. We just signed Matsya, a creator with over 7 million followers and the wife of PewDiePie, the #1 YouTuber in the world right now. Now, we will be developing tech-enabled products with her to be distributed via a D2C strategy. Next, we are going into the digital partnership with Skybound, the US entertainment company who owns The Walking Dead. Our products will be integrated into their existing ecosystems, unlocking special content across platforms to millions of fans. In the secondary marketplace, we have confirmed a partnership with billion-dollar transaction platform StockX to integrate into their authentication process. Finally, we are launching 4 experiential retail spaces with fashion company IT in Hong Kong and China. We are a team of 70, and we came from Hasbro, Razer, KPMG, and even pop culture entrepreneurs who have exited successfully. We are constantly looking for great people across a wide spectrum of skill sets to join us. New hires will then be assigned to one of the business units to further develop our physical and digital products. I believe that what's important is really not how good you are, but how good you can be and how you want to be. And if you want to create something extraordinary, and you have to be unreasonable, and you have to take that first leap of faith. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much to Jackson. And I really resonate with you about the last sentence right there. And I really like about how you have creatively used the word digitally in your mission statement, I suppose, is physically and digitally. Am I right to say that, Jackson?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So just a quick question from me. You mentioned many interesting projects and partnerships in your one of your slides, and which are coming up next for your company. So which one in particular gets you the most excited about your company's future directions?
I think those are the ones that we cannot share right now, but we are working on partnerships with some of the largest sports franchise in the world. So all I can say is that if you like speed, then we have millions of fans that's gonna use our products. So that's gonna be really exciting.
All right, that is well said. So indeed, the best projects are, usually more private and confidential, I would say.
That's right.
All right. So I think at this point in time, we do want to have any questions that you might ask. So for our audience members, if you have any questions that you would like to ask Jackson, as well as our future, not future, but our next few speakers in the coming few minutes, right, do post it on the interface on the right of your interface. Okay. And then we will come back and answer these questions, to have our speakers answer these questions. All right. So thank you so much once again to Jackson from
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. So right now, coming up next, we have Angela Tay, Assistant Director of Telecoms Engineering Specialist Office from IMDA to take the stage. Angela, please.
Thank you, Sean, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angela, and as Sean has introduced, I am an Assistant Director of the Telecom Cybersecurity Engineering and Specialist team in IMDA. So today I'm going to share with you on what IMDA does and my personal work experience in IMDA. So some information about myself first. I started my career as a system analyst, and from there I have took on various other roles in ICT and cybersecurity field to digitalize, transform, and advance operational processes for the past 14 years. And in my current portfolio, I lead an engineering team that strategizes and develops cybersecurity initiatives in IMDA, as well as a team of data engineering and data science folks that exploits big data for cybersecurity use cases. So in IMDA, we believe in making digital a reality. We realize this through a three-pronged approach. First, we develop the infrastructure and environment to enable digitalization. We also promote the adoption of digital technologies by businesses and ensure that no one is left behind by building an inclusive digital society. I will share with you on some of these initiatives that IMDA has embarked on to realize this goal in my subsequent slides. So first is on the creation of an environment of trust, security, and innovation by building a trusted and resilient communication infrastructure. And this is an area which my team is actually working on through the development of greenfield initiatives to ensure the security and resilience of our infrastructure. And as we all know, Singapore will be deploying our 5G standalone infrastructure by 2025. So cybersecurity for telecommunications network is by itself a niche area. And this is even more so for 5G networks, which actually breaks away from the traditional telecommunications network infrastructure and relies heavily on network virtualization as well as this concept of multi-tenancy. So what this means to us is that we need to develop specialized skill sets to secure and defend against threats on this new infrastructure. And of course, this is supported by our policies and regulatory frameworks to build a trusted ecosystem. Next, on promoting digital adoption. So IMDA actually has this SME Go digital program, which has been running for several years to date. So with SME forming 99% of the enterprises in Singapore and employ about 2/3 of our Singapore workforce, we need to ensure that they are also the beneficiary of digital technologies to improve their operations and also their revenue generation. So to ensure that there is a constant supply and sufficient supply of skilled manpower to meet the demand of Singapore's digital workforce, IMDA also runs this Tech Skills Accelerator Program, or TESA in short, to reskill and upskill our workers. These are done through short courses, skill certifications, training bootcamps, as well as some on-the-job trainings. So on top of the typical ICT skills that are being trained, we also train on new skills in areas such as AI, data analytics, and cloud computing. So on this slide, you see SG Digital Movement. So I think many of you have heard about it before through our news and other platforms. So what we do here is that we reach out to seniors as well as the hawkers, to help them with the adoption and the use of digital technologies so that even the less tech-savvy group of our population are not left behind as our nation advances digitally. Okay, so this slide basically summarizes what IMDA has delivered so far. And apart from the initiatives that I have highlighted, there are many more nationwide initiatives that IMDA has delivered. And you will also have the opportunity to be one of us to deliver many more new initiatives to come. So many of you may ask, what is it like to work in IMDA? So I think maybe let me close off this presentation using my personal experience as an example. So to me, IMDA is an organization that promotes personal development and growth. Staff like myself are given opportunities to be exposed to different areas of work. And even if your interest is in, say, a particular domain like cybersecurity, like myself, there are many roles that we can actually take on. So next, you will also see from the earlier slides that many IMDA initiatives create nationwide impact. So this actually gives us the opportunity to make Singapore a better place to live in and also to protect our prized assets. So in short, there's a sense of mission and purpose, to the work that we are doing here. And last but not least, so IMDA being a young agency that has just been formed for about 4 years to date. So we are actually an energetic and vibrant organization that embraces innovation and changes. And at the same time, the organization is actually actively taking in feedback to reshape ourselves to even perform better. And to be part of this organization, I understand there are many job opportunities available today, which you can actually find out more from our IMDA virtual booth, which if you have not visited it, do go ahead. And do join us as a digital change maker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela, for that speech. And I'm very intrigued to hear that you've been in the same industry for almost 14 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
time flies.
Yeah, time really flies, right? 14 years. So, given that, you have this whole wealth of experience, right? I have to ask you this question then, so based on, your expertise and, the stories you've seen, the people you've met over the, all these years working in the industry, right? So what is one piece of advice would you like to give, to our audience here? Because we have our audience members here are like students to fresh graduates as well as mid-career professionals. So all across the spectrum. So what is one piece of advice would you like to give to these people who would be interested to foray into cybersecurity?
Right. Thanks, Sean, for the question. I think cybersecurity itself is actually a huge domain. It involves multiple disciplines. So, for example, to secure ICT systems, you actually need skills like security architecting, which is an area that I'm working on myself. And say if you want to, identify weaknesses in systems, you need threat hunting skills, which is a very hot topic today, actually. And when something bad happens to your network, for example, you need incident response skills to know what is the exact cause of the issue and then to resolve it. So to be in this field, you need to know like where your interest lies, and then this will keep your passion going. Also, one more point to add, digital advancements are happening rapidly with, digital economy. So to be a good cyber defender, I think we should never be complacent about our own cybersecurity knowledge and skills, as we need them to be constantly honed to keep up with the technology changes. So for those who are interested in making this as your career, I think you need to have the mindset to continuously learn and upskill yourselves. Thank you.
That was a very comprehensive answer there, Angela. Thank you so much. So what I've gathered is that really you have to determine what is your real interest, and therefore you are able to, embark on this particular journey, right? Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you for your time. Yes. So coming next, but before that, apologies. So IMDA does have a lot of full-time opportunities available, such as cyber analyst positions, data scientists, as well as cloud engineer positions. So alongside with our other startups, you are able to check out the full list of job roles at our jobs tab that you will see on the top right-hand corner of this screen. So thank you so much once again to Angela. And next we have Dr. Mohammad Sherafatmand, which is our founder and CEO of HYDROLEAP. Mo, take it away.
Thank you, Sean. So thanks so much for having me here, first of all. So hello everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Mo, CEO and founder of HYDROLEAP. And as probably you can guess, is HYDROLEAP. It's a water technology company. So let me tell you a little bit more about the business profile that what we have been doing and what we have been up to so far. So HYDROLEAP is a specialized water and wastewater treatment company, which is revolutionizing water treatment across the industry. So we provide a chemical-free, cost-effective, and automated solution for the wastewater treatment by replacing chemicals with electricity. We incorporated the company in 2016 after years of R&D from National University of Singapore. And we are into quite a number of industries, but among them, construction and industrial sectors are the main one. So we have been We have been fortunate that we've been invested for 2 rounds from great investors such as Wavemaker Partners, governmental investors such as Enterprise Singapore, SGInnovate, EF, Spark Labs, 500s, and many more. At the same time, we have a great local and overseas partners such as National University of Singapore, GATE, the Partner of Primary Industry in New South Wales. So let's go then. Okay, our story. What's our story? If you look at any of the industry that you can imagine, you can talk about construction, mining, manufacturing, a lot of things that Jackson mentioned that they want to manufacture and ship it all around. So they need water and they generate a lot of wastewaters. When you look at the water and wastewater treatment, you will see a common process, which is called chemical treatment or chemical coagulation flocculation. So apart from the obvious, so it's a very expensive process. It's non-environmentally friendly because you're fighting fire with fire. You're fighting chemicals with chemicals, and it's a pain to operate. So what we did in 2016, so we realized the irony of the current water treatment process globally, which utilizes chemicals to fight chemicals. So we wanted to change this. We wanted to change this redundant, expensive, and harmful to the environment process. So that's where the HYDROLEAP was born. So what we do, we utilize electrical and the membrane treatment systems to provide a chemical-free, cost-effective, and environmentally friendly solution for a variety of the wastewaters. By creating a sustainable water treatment process, we're shifting the focus from a conventional method to water treatment, which is more innovative, efficient, and good for the environment. So this is a comparison. So gladly for the past 3.5 years, we started from literally venture scale. We took it to the pilot. We took the pilot to the commercialization. We currently have quite a number of commercialization locally, and now we are going out of Singapore as well. So this is a kind of like apple to apple comparison to what we do, chemical to HYDROLEAP. I'm not going to jump so much into the technicality, but as you can see, the obvious, we are contributing from many angles, from the footprint, from operating costs, which is something from $25, it's going to come down to the less than $2. So we've received quite a number of attention. So since the COVID, because now everyone is looking for a solution which is less reliant to the labor. So we are bringing a fully automated solution for that. So the core team is a great mix of the academic as well as the experienced people. So we're all coming from the water background, engineering background, even IT, from a defense background. So this is the core team that, as I said, we are coming from a different NUS, NTU, overseas, that is a good bunch of academic as well as the experienced people. So who we are looking for. So we already have quite a number of opening out there that you can check it out. So the most important qualities that as a CEO and as a whole HYDROLEAP team you're looking for. First of all, you're looking for passionate people. So this is a startup. This is not a corporate. You're looking for people that they really want to think out of the box. The second quality we are looking for, we are looking for people that are keen to learn. That's one of the first things. If you're not here, if you're going to do a 9 to 5 p.m. job, probably HYDROLEAP is not the place for you guys. So at the same time that you're keen to learn, we want to be keen to contribute. So that's the culture that we are looking for. That's like what we have been doing for the 3.5 years. We're looking for people. We don't care about the ages. Sometimes even we kind of compromises on the experience just to bring the right attitude to the company. So, and one of the things that you will learn through the HYDROLEAP and through any kind of a startups which is active, you're looking for people that they care more about the process rather than the specific tasks. So one of the things in startups, you will be learning the process rather than the task, which leads to my next slide, which what kind of gains you get from working in HYDROLEAP. First of all, you get the opportunity to work with a great team on a great product. First of all, that first introduction that I gave, you're working to bring a new solution for a better environment. So as I said, you're learning a process rather than learning a task. And as well as this is a startup, you're growing with the company. and you're experiencing a flatter structure. If you're sitting in a flatter structure, we always have an active conversation going on within the company. And you're learning new skills. Every day is a new day in startup. Every day we are like, from the top management to the basically to our builders, you're learning new things. So we have plenty of jobs that you can check it out on our website and our LinkedIn, as well as the SGInnovate website, from process engineer, business development, IoT engineers, R&D, digital marketing people, that if you're a passionate person and if you really want to make an impact, so yeah, you need to come and talk to us. That's it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mo. We are also indeed very happy to have you here with us this afternoon. And that was HYDROLEAP, and they are revolutionizing wastewater treatment. You know, and I think Mo, earlier you mentioned that right now your technology is more needed than ever, especially during the period of the pandemic, as you mentioned. And I got the last bit where you talk about the kind of people you're looking for, you know, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised that, you know, you've mentioned that in place of qualifications, you are looking for people with the right attitude and mindset to always grow and learn on the job. So that is something very intriguing. I have a question for you, Mo. So, you know, you talk about revolutionizing wastewater treatment, right, as part of your core line of business. So what else gets you, or what are some of the intangible things that gets you very excited about the future of your company?
All right. Okay. So, okay, before setting up a HYDROLEAP, I consider myself as an environmentalist. I really care about the environment. That's the first thing. I really care about the environment, specifically about the water, because I believe that hopefully there's no next war, but if there would be a war, it's going to be about the water rather than anything else. So we really care about the water, and we are making a big impact already on with our customers for our environment. So what I'm excited, we are expanding what we're doing to the different verticals, to deeper even within the verticals. And what we're excited the most is how we can globalize HYDROLEAP solution to, I mean, apart from the business side of it, financial side of it, what we can do for the environment. That's what runs our motto, right?
Right. So I think one of the key takeaways, I think, as what Angela earlier from IMDA has mentioned too, is really about whether you have that passion. So in which case, if we do have the passion of, you know, caring for the environment, and then especially in terms of how we're always talking about water constraints and water shortages all around the world, it's more important than ever, you know, to have this interest in the first place to really do what you do. Right.
So that is exactly correct. I mean, the right attitude is the most important thing. I mean, for the past couple of years, we've learned that being a right fit, having a right amount of okay, there's no right amount of passion, but right amount of basically right attitude for the company. That's the most important quality that everyone can have. The technicality, always people can pick it up if they're passionate about it.
That is 100% true, at least in my opinion as well. So thank you so much, Mo, for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. So that's Dr. Mohammad Sherafatmand, our founder and CEO of HYDROLEAP. So coming up next, we do have our last but not least, all right, speaker. We have Sahil Tapiawala, CEO and co-founder of ATOMIONICS. So Sahil, the stage is yours.
Hey, thanks, Sean, for that introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Sahil. I'm the co-founder and CEO of ATOMIONICS. At ATOMIONICS, we build the next generation of quantum sensing for navigation and resource exploration. Basically, what we realized was that in the last 30, 40 years or so, sensing systems have not really changed much. And that severely affects multiple industries. The common denominator amongst these are three major things: gravity, acceleration, and rotation. And those are exactly the three things that we measure at ATOMIONICS, but 1,000 times better than the current state of the art. Now, what are the things that we can do that current sensing systems cannot do? For one, when you measure gravity very precisely, you can exactly pinpoint oil and gas reserves, mineral reserves. At the same time, you can help in tunnel planning as well as just make construction more efficient. In fact, this also enables to predict earthquakes and volcano eruptions. In addition to that, if you can actually if you can measure acceleration and rotation much more accurately, one can build way better inertial navigation systems. Now, these are navigation systems that are used in extremely high value vehicle systems like aircraft, submarines, etc. But I think what excites us the most at ATOMIONICS is the fact that we can build a completely new GPS. Our sensing systems measures gravity so precisely that can create a unique fingerprint of any place. And using that unique fingerprint, we can position ourselves anywhere in the world, be it underwater, underground, or even in space. Now, positioning is one of the major bottlenecks that has severely limited autonomous vehicles. In fact, even flying cars, I always ask myself, where the hell are flying cars right now? And hopefully, we can actually contribute to making them a reality by building a completely new global positioning system. In this particular trajectory, although that is our holy grail that we are working towards, the first product that we are building is a single axis accelerometer, or also called as a gravimeter, that can measure gravity very precisely. This will essentially be used to bring the cost of energy down drastically. Our mission is to essentially bring the cost of electricity down such that it is affordable to the next billion people. If you think about it, electricity essentially comes from underground, be it conventional sources like oil or gas, or be it renewable sources where you still require storage in terms of lithium ion batteries, where the bottleneck is essentially cobalt or nickel, or be it nuclear, where you still require uranium. And what we can enable is just peaking underground. And that would essentially help us to bring the cost of electricity down. In addition to that, we also work with quite a few government agencies and city planning organizations to help them understand how the city is distributed. At the same time, we also help measure sea level changes. One of the major things that happens is that because of climate change, the sea level is rising. Basically, we are trying to prevent Singapore from becoming another Venice. Now, this is the first product that we are building, but how do we actually enable this, or what is the core technology behind this? The core technology behind this is called as cold atom interferometry, where we cool down atoms to microkelvin temperatures, and at that temperature we can measure the forces acting on these atoms very precisely. The way we cool them down is not through using a fridge or anything of that sort, but with a process called as laser cooling, where we literally shoot lasers at atoms. When these lasers and atoms interact, they essentially enable the atoms to release photons. And in physics, cool actually means slow. So once these atoms are nearly stationary, they're essentially cooled down. And at that stage, we can measure the forces such as gravity, acceleration, and rotation acting on these atoms very precisely. Now, this is very similar to, say, if you, the performance improvement is very similar to, say, moving from a ruler to a vernier caliper, where current sensing technology relies on light-based measurements, whereas what we use are called atomic matter waves. This enables us to measure things 10 raised to 10 times more sensitive than what a light wave interferometer can measure. The way this translates to a particular product, or the first product that we are building, is by a combination of different domains: optics, electronics, physics, as well as software. And these are exactly the domains that we have open roles as well for. So our team is also quite interdisciplinary in terms of the domains that they come from. We have folks who are researchers in quantum physics, at the same time who work very closely with mechanical engineers who know anything and everything that's there to know about design for manufacturing or even vibration isolation. Well, some of these folks have literally built rocket engines and have also previously built a Crew Dragon um, spaceship that essentially went to the ISS at SpaceX. In addition to that, there are also fantastic electronics engineers in the team who essentially build out a robust and reliable control system. We literally build cool stuff. And if anyone asks me what are the common characteristics in this team, then what I envision is that there are 3-4 things that we hold really true to our heart. One of the first things is having a growth mindset. The fact that any skill set or any ability or capability can be developed given X amount of time. And this essentially means that we are always curious as to finding a solution to whatever problem that we face, because this is literally at the state of the art, and these are challenges and problems that no one else has ever resolved. And so those are the kinds of people that we also look for, where they don't get intimidated by new problem statements and would always want to find new solutions to challenging problem statements. In addition to that, we also take ownership to heart. What that essentially means is that we'll do whatever it takes to get that shit done. And that is essentially what is one of the major characteristics of our team. And also, because we work in a team, it is super important that our interactions, we understand where the other team members also come from because of how interdisciplinary the nature of the problem statement is. In addition to that, we don't give importance to experience or any of these other characteristics, but essentially only to the idea and how good that idea is. And so these are like essentially the 4 operating principles that we follow at ATOMIONICS. We have a few open roles in electronics, atomic physics, as well as software engineering and mechanical engineering. In fact, we also have open roles for people who come from a business or an operations background. These are full-time as well as apprenticeship roles. So please feel free to ask me any questions or visit our booth to find out more. In addition to that, just to give you guys a short overview of who we are as a company and an organization, we were founded in 2018, and within the last 2 years, we have grown rapidly from just being a small team of 2 folks to essentially building a full-fledged quantum physics-based device development company. We are supported by some fantastic investors and business partners in Singapore and Southeast Asia. Folks like SGInnovate, Wavemaker, 500 Startups, and Caprista. And that is all from me. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to visit the booth as well. And at the same time, please feel free to ask the questions on the side.
All right, thank you so much to Sahil. That was an amazing presentation. I'd like to ask one question for myself, right? So, ATOMIONICS being a quantum computing company at its background, right? And it's something that is quite rare to see, and it's not something that not everyone has heard about it. So what is one big misconception that people have when it comes to your company, what you guys do, as well as the industry itself?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to sort of maybe continue on that, we're a quantum sensing company where we essentially utilize matter wave interferometry to sense things, and we don't compute things really. But this is also one of the major misconceptions that comes up, where are you guys doing quantum computing or are you guys doing quantum sensing? What is that about? So that is one. And the second one is that folks who end up joining us from the engineering side, they don't really need to know quantum physics, and there are people who are well versed in that. And so that is one of the major misconceptions that come up, that hey, do I actually need to know quantum physics? Do I need to have done some courses on that? But that is not really the case.
Right. So thank you so much. We do have actually a question from the audience right now. So if I could read it out. So this person says, "Hi Sahil, could you please describe how the electronics engineer fits in the end goal of your company?" So the electronics engineer position, how does it fit in the end goal of your
Absolutely.
company?
That's a fantastic question because I personally am an electronics engineer as well. And what excites me the most about this is the fact that when one is trying to manipulate atoms with a laser, we need precise control on the laser system as well. Now, the way this translates to an actual system is that it involves RF electronics, it involves analog electronics, microwave electronics. So essentially designing circuits to control this kind of lasers. At the same time, it also involves embedded control, where you have to ensure that the big picture on this whole product is controlled by the main brain or the main computer. And so essentially it needs to have a robust and reliable control system. So basically it covers all aspects of electronics engineering. And that is the exciting bit, that an electronics engineer ends up working on different aspects and growing in all of these different domains.
Right. So thank you so much. That was Sahil Tapiawala, CEO and founder of ATOMIONICS. Thank you for your time, Sahil. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. So thank you to our speakers so far. So, and with that, we've just heard from our diverse range of deep tech startups and partners cutting across the various technologies and industries. So these are just some of the over 200 apprenticeships and full-time positions that we have. So to see the full list of openings, once again, do check out our jobs page that you see on the top right-hand bar of this page, right? So we have come to the end of our startup and partner showcase, which also concludes our program today. So however, do continue to stick around in this auditorium as we will be crowning the titles of Best Mentor and Best Apprentice of SGInnovate's Summation Talent Program. We will also announce the winners for the scavenger hunt. Right, so on the screen you see our nominees for Best Mentor and Best Apprentice of the Summation Talent Program. We will also announce the winners for the scavenger hunt. So for those of you who have been actively on the hunt for the letters and submitting your answers, you will definitely want to stick around to see if you are one of the lucky 3 winners of our prizes, including a pair of Apple AirPods Pro. So I think earlier on, we revealed the last letter, in fact. So earlier on in the segment, we did reveal the last letter. So for those of you who were scurrying away to submit the answers, I wish you all the best and may the odds be ever in your favor.